Now's the time to take out your guides and prepare them to put on your rod. First thing I do is I lay down a piece of masking tape with the sticky side up. Next, I've lined up the guides, largest to smallest, plus the hook keeper. We're ready to put the guides on the rod according to the measurements we made earlier. Let's take a closer look at this part of the rod. We've got the line where the spine is, we've got the mark where the first guide goes, and we can see in this case we've got the tip top lined up with those. This is the pattern we're going to follow all the way down the rod. I've used a little piece of masking tape to hold the front end of the guide onto the rod block. We need two things to make this easy: a cup and a book. This is how we set it up. We put the thread in a cup, we run it through the book for tension. We're going to start by winding the thread over itself. Watch carefully. I'm keeping constant pressure on that thread with my left hand. Going around, we have that tag end of the thread underneath the other threads. You'll have to go around 3, 4, 5 times before that'll hold. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten this and cinch those together. A couple more turns. You can see that thread is still underneath the other threads. You can do it as many times as you like. I'm going to cinch these together. And you can see that wrap starting to take shape. Now, after those 3 or 4 more turns, I have a total of about 10 here. Just want to make sure that the thread's holding. I want to cut this tag in. That's simple. Now I'm going to wind up that guide foot. And don't worry if these threads aren't together. Again, just cinch them. There's plenty of thread in your kit. If you need to redo a bunch, don't worry about it. I'm continuing to wind up the guide foot and cinching the threads as I go along. Now what we're going to do, we have to think about ending this wrap. So when we're about 6, 7, 8 wraps from where we think we're going to end, in this case, right at the bend, so we need to put a loop in. So here's what we've done. We have the loop end here, the 2 tag ends sticking out. And now we're going to continue to wrap over it, just ignoring it. And when we're just about where we want it, we're going to cut the thread while holding the wrap with our thumb, putting that tag end through the loop. Doesn't matter which way. Of course, you have to get it through. See that? Just through the loop. And then we're going to pull those 2 tag ends And voila, we've pulled that tag in underneath the wraps, and that's going to hold pretty well. And we cut it, and that's it. We can burnish it. I use my marker. That'll help smooth the wraps. Now I did this particular wrap with a thread that was easy to see. I'm going to do a wrap without any commentary with the black thread that comes with your kit. It's a lot easier to use, and you'll see how it looks. After you get your first guide on, just move on to the next. You want to check to see if the guides are lined up right. If they're not, you can tap them a little bit and move them into position. That looks perfect. And that's a wrap.